Hello. No. No, that was terrible. Fuck.
That was really bad, Hector. You gotta get your priorities on.
Yeah. Hello.
Sorry.
No.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still me.
It's still you. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought you just gave up completely.
Hello and welcome to the Nethergreen podcast. This is episode 49.
You might have to just do that again, because one, you might actually have to turn down the sensitivity a little bit more, and two, you popped so fucking loudly. You went, "Welcome to the Nethergreen podcast."
Hello and welcome to...
That's better, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Nethergreen podcast. This is episode 49 without any pop filters. So I'm going to say a lot of P's today.
Intentionally.
And today I'm doing perfectly pleasant. It's been quite a preposterous week. We watched Invincible.
Yeah.
Christ,
this sounds awful.
Yeah.
Look at the thing. Look how many,
oh my god.
Those are all pops.
Those P's are very poppy.
Yes.
Yeah, we've finished watching Invincible and now we're recording this in the morning.
Yes. Where we're both tired.
Yeah.
But we watched the entirety of season 2 yesterday. It's our own fault. It's because of us and what we've done. You know, there's 8 episodes. They were released weekly. There was like a 3-month gap between the first 4 and the last 4. We've had plenty of time, and we didn't do it. Yeah. Instead, we had to watch all of them in one day, which for me isn't a problem. That's kind of how I watch telly anyway. But I could tell you were struggling. Bless you.
It was, yeah. Watching anything for that long is just like,
Well, just be thankful it was good television at least.
Yeah.
But we want to talk a little bit about season 2. I don't recall ever talking about season 1 on the podcast. I think when season 1 came out, it was during one of our hiatuses, and we never actually got the chance to talk about it on the pod. If I recall, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, I don't think we've ever actually talked about Invincible on the podcast.
Have we not?
I don't think so.
Oh. I could have sworn there was at least an episode where we talked about it.
I don't think there was. But we could briefly talk about season 1 now. It's really good. It's a really great first season. I remember showing it to you the first time, and I'd kept kind of hidden that it was going to be a bloody sweary show. Yeah. So by the end of the first episode, I remember it hit you like a fucking brick, the reveal.
Yeah.
When Omni-Man just... spoilers. When Omni-Man just kills the shit out of the fucking Guardians, just fucking destroys them. But yeah, it's a really great first season. It's also... it was ages ago. Like, I hate the fact that TV shows these days, especially animated shows, take like 2 years between dropping seasons. Even Smiling Friends, which has 11-minute episodes, 8 episodes, took 2 years to come out between seasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, season 2 came out, and just briefly, what do you think? What did you think? Good season? Bad season?
I thought it was excellent.
I thought it was very good, but I didn't think it was as good as season 1. I think it tries to kind of rush through it a little bit more. They tried to pack more into this season, which I don't blame them for. That's kind of, that happens a lot. I almost missed the simplicity of the first season while watching this one.
How long did it take them to make the first one?
Probably around the same amount of time.
Wasn't there more episodes in the first one?
No. It's 8 episodes apiece. Yeah.
Oh, I guess the only difference is that we just watched it all in one go, so it feels like it's shorter.
That's the difference. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
If anything, it might have even been a little bit longer than the last season. Because I remember the last season, I don't remember it being 50-minute episodes. I remember it being 45-minute episodes. I could be wrong. But this was 50-minute episodes, which obviously adds to the runtime. It did all become a bit of a blur, but luckily Invincible is a show that, while it's very serialised, you have to watch it in order, each episode does have its own standalone thing, which makes it easier to talk about. Like, take Stranger Things, for example. If I was to be like, hey Hector, Stranger Things Season 3, Episode 3. That was a good one, wasn't it? Remember that one? You'd have no idea. You'd be like, no, what the fuck happened in that episode? But, because there's no little thing you could say after, but I could be like, oh yeah, Invincible Season 2, Episode 2. The Atlantis one. And you'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, let's might as well go through them all. This is going to be a shorter episode today, folks. Hector's going to the zoo.
Yeah.
And normally I don't like an episode being less than an hour. But you got to understand, this is episode 49. And episode 50, we're going to review and rank every episode of South Park.
No.
That's going to be a multi-hour journey. I'm thinking like, fucking, that can be a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah.
So if this one's a little bit shorter, guess what? Just wait a week and you're going to have a lot more of us. But yeah, so season 1, episode 1, a lesson for your next life. Now, I realised while we were watching the show yesterday, about halfway through episode 1, I realised, oh no, I have watched this. I watched this one when it dropped. And then I was like, I'll wait to see the rest of Hector. And then eventually that happened. It's just a long time after it dropped. But yeah, this is the one where, it starts off in that Elseworld. We get to meet Angstrom, Levi.
Yeah.
Angstrom, I think it's Levi.
Yeah.
And the Mauler twins and I think this is a good first episode. I remember during it, you got a little bit confused at one point and you looked at me and you were like, I don't understand what world we're on.
Yeah.
Is this our mark? Did he kill Omni-Man in this universe? And I had to be like, no, this is our mark.
Because it started off with like the mark that was on his dad's side.
Yeah, an evil mark.
Yeah.
And an E-arc in a way,
And I guess really we can't even be sure that this is our mark again.
Yeah, we might have lost that original mark forever. There might be no going back to him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was our original mark, though. Just assuming. If there's any continuity errors, we can chalk it off to actually we lost that mark forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's a good first episode. Is it as good as we're not going to do this for every one, but is it as good as the first episode of season 1? That's hard to say. Again, more happens. That's kind of that might as well be the tagline for season 2. Invincible, more happens.
Yeah.
Because the first episode of season 1, the first episode ever, is very, very simple. But no, I don't feel like anything in this episode hits you with that fucking punch to the face that seeing Omni-Man kill the Guardians does.
Mm.
So yeah.
So probably not as good, I don't think.
Maybe not as impactful, but it's still very solid first episode. You know? And yeah, this is the one where Angstrom tries and fails. And then at the very end of the episode, he's got a big head. And that's him now, you know, that's him forever.
Yeah.
And then episode 2, in about 6 hours, I lose my virginity to a fish. That's the Atlantis one. It'd be weird if that wasn't the Atlantis one. You know, it'd be weird if that was just an episode title.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with fish people or the undersea world.
Yeah, that would be a weird title indeed.
I like this episode quite a lot, actually. I thought this was a really fun one. I always have fun with episodes that kind of deal with weird things like this. There's another show that deals with Atlantis. Oh, what show is that? I don't know. But it's got a similar vibe to this episode that I appreciated. I just appreciate other worlds. Like, for example, like with Smiling Friends, the episode where they go to the Enchanted Forest.
Yeah.
Like, I like animation because you could do so much weird shit in animation. So yeah, it's like, fuck it. Just pluck them out of rural America and just put them in a fish world, you know? Why not? You know?
Yeah.
Really cool action too. I really like the fight with that giant. What was it? The depth, the depth killer or something like that. The bone crusher.
Bone crusher.
What do you think of this episode?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, and the stakes were high. He was about to lose his virginity to a fish.
Yeah.
Imagine the smell.
But then he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
Then he almost got killed by a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 3. This missive, this machination. This is the Alan one, and the one where there's a bunch of fucking. I thought that was quite funny because that's from the comics. That's why there's suddenly a narrator, because in the comics it's like, it has the text of, meanwhile while Mark gets busy, let's check in. Like they do that. I appreciate that. This is another really good one. I like Alan a lot. I've always liked Alan, voiced by Seth Rogen. Yeah, it's a shame he's never been able to do his little laugh. Or however he fucking laughs.
I kind of don't like Seth Rogen that much.
No, me neither.
No.
But at least he has a very distinctive voice.
Right.
You can't say that's not true.
Mm.
But it's the only one he can do. He's not a talented voice actor.
No.
He's just got his one voice, but it's very distinctive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was a good episode. You see the Viltrumites just beat the shit out of Alan. Just fucking demolish him. And then we cut back to Mark. And this is one where, again, yeah, he goes to college for the first time, and it ends with that bug man, science dog coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Alan stuff in this episode works a bit better than the Mark stuff, which makes sense because, first day of college, again, for most of the episode, Mark's just getting busy. So it's like, yeah, but I wouldn't call this a filler episode by any means, but Invincible, a lot happens. Not in this one, not so much, no. Which I kind of appreciate, but if it actually was just Alan, I would have been fine with that. We didn't need it to end halfway through and then just go back to Mark and all that stuff. Like, no, just make it Alan,
Yeah.
But then episode 4, it's been a while. This is the one where he goes to the bug planet and he meets up with his dad, his papa.
Yeah.
His daddy-o. Really fucking great episode. This was a really, really good one. But it's also kind of shows, because obviously, as I said, this season was cut into 2 parts. The first 4 episodes were released in November last year, and then the last 4 were released in March. And it's like, man, this feels this feels like a bigger finale than the last episode in retrospect to me. There's something about this episode that does feel very finale, which doesn't actually, and even with episode 5, when episode 5 begins, it begins like a season opener. This is barely a one full season. It really does feel like 2 small seasons, which I don't like. Even when a show does split itself up in that, I hate feeling that divide. I'd rather it just kind of flow like all one big thing. I don't know. What did you think? I thought this was a really great episode. This might be my favourite episode of the season. The bug one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool.
The big 3-on-2 Viltrumite fight.
Yeah, and then he gets taken away to to get executed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that was the best episode. What other episodes were there?
Well, we'll talk about more. But
I mean, yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Yeah, what can I say? His dad's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's all you need to say.
His dad's a real piece of shit, but then by the end you're thinking, oh no, is he really a real piece of shit?
You're thinking, I love that piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he's still a piece of shit.
No.
He's a real piece of shit.
In a way, too, I am a bit glad, because if we had watched it live, then we would have seen episode 4, and we actually would have had to have waited that 4 months in real time in order to see what happened next. Not as bad for me. I've read the comics. I know exactly what's happening next. But for you, I can imagine that'd be rough, Episode 5, this must come as a shock. This is the one where Mark goes home. He's got his little goblin brother, his little purple brother.
Yeah. Who actually doesn't age that fast, even though they keep saying, wow, he ages so fast and learns so fast.
Well, no, I'd say he mean,
he was exactly the same at the end of the season as he was when we first saw him.
Yeah, but I feel like there's only been like a week. There can't have been that long. Like when he gets back to Earth, obviously it takes a week to get. So when he gets back to Earth in episode 5, he goes to space again during the squid invasion, the Sequid invasion.
Well, they say it takes 6 days. It took him 6 days to get to that bug planet in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's been more than 6 days. It could have been like a month. It could have been like 2 weeks.
I feel like it was closer to 2. I feel like especially these last 4 episodes, I don't think there's that big of a delay between any of them. I feel like it's actually a very subsequential, turn of events. I feel like there's only like 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, I just found that funny how throughout the whole thing they keep saying, wow, he grows so much faster than everyone else.
I mean, he does change. He's talking by the end, he's saying like, mama and, baby words,
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the one where, is it? What happened? Yeah, this is the one where they go up to space and they deal with the Sequids. Well, it's part 1 of that, and then also explode, and the rest of the Guardians are trying to deal with the Lizard League with the Supreme Lizard,
Prince Lizard, the
King Lizard. I like this one. I mean, the Sequids. I don't know. I actually feel like again, you haven't read the comics. I kind of feel like the comics did that a little bit better. I'm not going to expand on that. You haven't read it. Why would I expand on it? And that's okay. Sometimes comics do things better. Comics do things really good. They're good comics, Episode 6, it's not that simple. So they come back to Earth. The Sequids have been dealt with. They've got that fucking Martian guy. I liked him, actually. I liked the Shapesmith. I thought he was a fun addition to the show. Voiced by Ben Schwartz, who I love as a comedian. He's a really funny guy. But then, he comes back to Earth. I think this is the episode where we find out about the Infinite Donald.
Yeah.
Which is a really fun concept. It also, is a fun little joke for us too, watching. Because, they've got a character called Donald who has died 38 times before. We saw him die in the last episode, and then just pops back up, and me and Hector immediately he is infinite. He's an immortal man. He's a man who cannot ever die.
And we were right.
We were right,
Donald.
Yeah. I remember at some point in episode 7, he comes up, Mark's fighting Anissa, and he comes up and he's like, I've got an idea. And we were like, send me in. Release the bone crusher.
Release the bone crusher.
But this, and then Alan comes to Earth to try and recruit Mark in this episode. And then he goes off and he finds the Viltrumites, and he's like, oh sweet, I'm going to get myself captured. Again, this episode is a bit, episode 6 and 3 are the ones that are like the most filler in this season, I feel. Apart in every other episode there's quite a lot happening apart from episode 6 and 3, really. But that's okay, because then we get episode 7, and I actually also really like episode 7. That's probably my second favourite, because this is the one where Nissa comes and fucks up Mark's day and leads to the destruction of his relationship with Amber.
Yeah.
I really like Anissa, especially in the comics, that if they follow it as closely as they have been the entire time, there's going to be a lot more of her, and she's going to do a lot more. Really great villain. Really well voiced too. She's voiced in this show by, I think Chantal De Silva, is that her name? Chantal, something like that. Chantal Van Staten, that's her, who is a really good actress, with a really good voice. I really like this one, and I think the fight, because obviously we saw the fight between Mark and Anissa, where he did nothing to her, like virtually nothing. But what you need to understand is that she's only like the 4th most powerful Viltrumite we'll get in this show. There's like 3 Viltrumites above her, and
General Krieg.
General Krieg's one of them. Yeah.
Is he at the top?
No.
Oh.
I'd say he's second. There's one above him who is an absolute fucking tank. Goat. He's the goat. He's the greatest of all time, Viltrumites. But yeah, and we saw Mark do nothing to her. Like, not even Alan did more than Mark.
Mm.
I'm saying that like I mean, eventually that would change because Viltrumites get stronger and shit. But yeah, if it was just Mark versus Nick, she would have killed him. She easily could have killed him. She almost did. She did. I feel like she did for a second. Like, you know, when I thought, you know, he was like, you know, like, I feel like she killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this episode. And it also, I almost feel like this could have been, I'll be honest, we didn't actually talk about it last night. I didn't like the finale for this season that much. We might as well talk about that now, because we got I Thought You Were Stronger, where, you know, at the end of the last episode, he's broken up with Amber. He gets a phone call from his mum, and it's Angstrom Levy. And he's like, come to play, or whatever he says. I think he says, like, when are you coming home? But then, yeah, he goes back home, and Angstrom is holding his mum hostage by threatening to, like, release her into a portal. And then Mark's just constantly flying at him and flying through the portals. Which, here's the thing, because that is what he does in the comics too, but again, this is a concept that works a lot better in comics because you can have longer, like, for example, in the comics, like in this episode, there's that little bit where he goes through a portal and he ends up with a discount Spider-Man, and it's like a 45-second scene. In the comics, that little 45-second scene lasts an entire issue. Mm-hmm. Because you can just do that. If you just suddenly dedicate an entire issue to what is essentially, you know, a joke, you know, a panel, that's not going to break the pacing too much. But you can't really do that in the show. Imagine if in the show, he flew through that portal and then he spent 23 minutes just hanging out with a Spider-Man. Like, it would have broke the pace. So I feel like the pacing was kind of really fucked by the television format. Because I think you said it too while we were watching. You were like, why is he doing this? Like, why is Mark doing this? And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the sense of urgency in the TV show. I didn't like it that much. I much preferred reading it as a comic than watching it as a TV show. What did you think, as someone who hadn't seen any of that?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like, you know, the first time it happened, okay, fine, you know, he flies at him to punch him and then the portal appears and he's like, oh my god, he has portals. And then he comes back into the normal world again. And the guy's like, come at me, bro. Yeah. And he does the exact same thing again. He flies at him as fast as he can and it's like, oh no, another portal. He has more. I thought he just had that one portal and he keeps going through it over and over again. Yeah. It's just like, holy fuck, dude, it becomes repetitive, yeah. In a way, it's a similar concept to classic Spider-Man villain, the Spot. Yeah.
But even that kind of works better because like, for example, when Mark finally does get him, you know, he tricks him into peering his head through, being like, "Ooh, where are you, Mark?" You know, it's like, well, how comes that even worked? How does the portals work? Like, he should just be able to do this kind of infinitely, surely. Like, that shouldn't have even worked, in my opinion, with the way they presented his thing. Also, so what? He can only do it from, because like, I wouldn't have been sure when I was Mark, if I had like punched Angstrom out of the house and shit, maybe he could have just been like, she's gone through that portal. I can do it remotely. Your mum's gone forever, you know, like.
Yeah, can't he do it remotely? Because he kept opening portals that would lead Mark to other dimensions which weren't the one that he was currently in.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because even when, you know, he gets sent, like, you know, he's sent into fucking the Walking Dead universe, whatever, Angstrom's still at the house, and yet he opens a portal to bring him back, you know? Like, I don't know, it's not very clear on what the boundaries of his powers are. Yeah, but obviously it doesn't work out for him. He breaks Debbie's arm. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy, dude. I don't know. It's just I don't know. And then this season finale, it goes on for too long. He stops Angstrom like halfway through, And Mark's obviously trapped in that other dimension, covered in blood. I thought you were stronger, you know. Now, what did you think of the plot point of how he got out of the other dimension when the future Guardians of the Globe came?
So the future Guardians somehow figured out that he was in this dimension, and for them it was like way in the future, so they'd invented portal technology, and then they...
Not even way in the future. But the reason they're old is because it took them 20 years to find that dimension.
Right. And then I'm supposing they also invented time travel as well. Because if that was the case, they would have had to travel back in time and then portal to where he was.
Yeah. But then again, I assume that too, but they didn't have to, because Mark establishes that time works differently in dimensions.
Mm.
So maybe they didn't have to, but I feel like they probably did. I feel like they mentioned something about time portal too. But yeah, just what did you think that was a bit of a Deus Ex Machina, or do you know what that means?
I don't know what that means. No.
That's a trope in films where it's like, something has come and saved us at the last minute.
Oh, I see.
Without that one random thing, we all would have died, kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
Which it kind of is. But
I mean, it is, right?
It is, yeah.
Otherwise, how would he have gotten home? He wouldn't.
But at the same time, by establishing the 20-year rule, where I feel like it's a bit more excusable. Like, if it was actually just the Guardians of his world, and they were just like, thank God we found you, that was close, that would have been a bit more, that would have been less forgivable then.
Imagine if they'd actually done that. That would have been so absurd.
This was the first portal we checked, Yeah,
I thought it was okay. Yeah. I think the coolest part was just seeing all the other dimensions.
Yeah.
Really. Like, the actual fight itself. And also, I didn't get why Mark was so distraught over killing one dude. Like,
because is that his first kill?
No, he got plowed through a train. Like, hundreds of people were mashed over his face.
Yeah, but Mark blamed himself for that at the beginning, but he understands, as should you, Hector, that wasn't his fault.
Yeah, but I feel like after experiencing that, you wouldn't be so beat up over the fact that you killed the guy that broke your mum's arm.
Yeah, but okay, he didn't just kill him. If I remember correctly, they don't actually show what he looks like after that beating.
Mm-hmm.
Did they show it? I don't remember them showing it.
No, I don't think so.
Alright, here it is in the comics. This is what he does to the guy. He doesn't just kill him. He demolishes the fucking shit out of him.
I see, yeah.
He turns him into slime. And that's, and no, I understand him being distraught, because he doesn't want to kill anyone. Hell, he didn't even want to kill Viltrumites, who in his opinion are a much bigger threat. I don't think it's the fact that he killed him too. It's the fact, it's like he said in the episode, I thought you were stronger. I thought I could not hold back and you could take it, but the second I don't hold back, I squash you like a fucking ant.
Very One Punch Man.
Yeah. I think I understand why he feels bad, essentially. But then, he goes home and the episode just keeps going. I understand they're setting things up for season 3, but man, we did not need that little scene of the two women exploring that tomb.
Yeah, no, we really didn't need that.
That scene, I get it, it'll come back in season 3, but for this episode, it contributed nothing. I remember watching that scene and being like, I don't care about any of it. Save this for the opening
of episode. Scooby-Doo.
I felt exactly the same. I was thinking Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't need that. Save the season 3 setup that has nothing to do with this season. Just save it for season 3, because that had nothing. I remember being like, oh, okay, have we seen these characters before? No, we haven't. Have we heard about the tomb of what? Oh, we haven't. Oh, cool. I can't wait to do. Oh wait, they're gone. They're gone. That was it. They were here for 3 minutes. Oh, cool. No, completely unneeded. What do you think of the ending threads of? Obviously, we got Mark, who isn't sure if he is gonna speak to Eve romantically, and then we have Alan getting arrested by the Viltrumites, and they're gonna plan a breakout. What do you think of those two threads?
Yeah, I thought they were both good. Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that with the Mark one, because it would have been funny, future Eve was like, tell her, and Mark was like, I just broke up with Amber. I can't. You know? Yeah. And it's good that he did it, because that would have been kind of shitty of him, especially because at the end of the, you know, we see that one shot, which is just, it's literally just that little scene from The Amazing Spider-Man 2 where Mark's looking down on Amber, and then Amber looks up and he's already vanished. Yeah. They do exactly that in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would have been weird if he did that and then, in context, probably about an hour later, he was like, I love you, Eve.
I love you. I've always loved you.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, that is the, you know, I don't think that's a spoiler. I feel like it's pretty obvious that Eve and Mark are the end game.
Yeah.
Of the series.
Yeah. Their love will transcend dimensions and transform.
There's two main ship end games. There's Mark and Eve, and then there's Alan and Omni-Man.
Yes.
I feel like I'm glad they kind of saved that, actually, because again, a lot happens in this season, and that's going to be a whole little thing.
What, them dating and being...
No. I mean them breaking out from the Viltrumite ship. I realised I did word it like that. Yeah. But no, them breaking out from the Viltrumite ship. And it's like, yeah, save that. That's going to be a really good opening. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll save it for episode 4 of season 3. Who knows?
When is the next season coming out?
So, someone, I think he's like a producer on the show, or like an animator, said on Instagram to a fan, it was like, a fan was like, oh no, we're gonna have to wait another 2 years, and he was like, only a year. Which could be true, but I reckon they're gonna keep going with this splitting the season thing. So I think he's right. In only a year, we'll have 4 episodes of television.
Oh, no.
And then we'll probably have to wait another 4 to 6 months, and then we'll get the other 4.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't mind that too much if it meant they could be consistent. Consistency is key. But it's a bummer that it takes so long to do shit like this nowadays. Yeah. I mean, Rick and Morty used to be like that, but they actually, since season 4, they've been very consistent. We've been getting 1 a year. Mm-hmm. You know, do you remember when it was like 2.5 years between those 2 seasons of Rick and Morty?
Yeah, man.
Like season 3 dropped. Didn't the first episode drop while we were in college, but were we at Ashburton? Do you remember? I don't remember.
That is too long ago. Yeah.
I think that was the case. That I think we went to Ashburton during Ashburton, because I remember we weren't watching TV or anything much anyway. I think someone was like, "Yo, apparently the new Rick and Morty dropped." And we were all like, "What?" Like,
quick, let's record an episode of the podcast. We should have recorded an episode of the podcast at Ashburton.
Imagine if we were doing the podcast all the way back from college. We would have been doing this for like fucking 7 years at this point. We'd have so much fucking content, you know.
We would have lots of content.
Yeah. Instead, we waited. We waited like children to grow and learn and become mature.
Yeah.
It's actually a very good thing we didn't record it that long ago, because
it would have been terrible. The quality would have been awful, and we would have been children.
We would have been saying the N word.
Yeah.
Like we would have, you know, there would have been episodes being like episode, you know, 362. Hector's heartbreak. It's like,
God, yeah, the quality would have been dramatically lower.
Yeah. It would have been bad. To the point where, like, if we had been, I probably would have privated a lot of the old shit.
Yeah, and then we would have had to have renamed the titles of all of these episodes. It wouldn't be episode 136. We'd have to rename it to episode.
Or we record new ones, but we start from the beginning until we get to wherever we want.
Yeah, and then hope that no one notices like the change in our voices when you go from episode 13
or the story progression of being like, oh, but Bradley mentioned before.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I thought it was a good season. Yeah. Will you keep watching?
I will keep watching. Yeah, I enjoy
it. It'd be weird if you were like, no, I'm done with the show.
Nah, that was all I needed to see, man. You know, those 8 hours of television they did me in. I'm never watching anything again.
There's a 2 and done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, no, I thought it was very good. I like Invincible. I liked the first season, and I like the second season.
Yeah. Let's mention some of the little bits of the show. In one episode, they go to Comic-Con, and there was a background extra dressed as the 13th Doctor. And she, I feel like if it was any other thing, I wouldn't notice it, but obviously I noticed it. And so I noticed how much they used the same background extra, because every other shot I was like, oh, there she is again.
Yeah.
There she is again. There she is again. But it means that one of the animators must be a good Doctor Who fan. You know? You asked why did they use her, and I genuinely think that she probably was the Doctor while this was being animated.
That makes sense.
You know, or at least storyboarded. The character models were being created. Like, it was probably that long ago. You know.
Yeah.
And then we get that little funny meta scene.
The very meta scene where it's like where the animation style actually changed. I was like, oh, okay.
What was that? I found out after, as in like when I went to bed, I was just looking through IMDb and shit. It's Tim Robinson in that scene.
Oh,
is voicing that guy. He's being like, he's explaining all that shit.
Nice.
I liked Cecil a lot this season. I feel like he works better. Because in the first season, they try and emphasize him being like this mysterious figure. Is he a friend? Is he a foe?
No, he's just a dude.
In this season, he's just a friendly dude. Yeah, he's just like, Mark, come on, man. Oh, this fucking kid. That's my Mark. Get him in a nugget. Get him in here, fucking. I like Cecil as a bit more friendly. He's a bit fucking useless at the finale, though. Wait till Angstrom's gone, and then he comes in being like, Jesus Christ, Debbie, what happened? Like, where were you, man? Yeah. You should have noticed that communications had been cut inside the house. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I would have noticed that. I would have been like, communications had been cut inside the house.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was a good season.
Good season.
A good season.
Good show.
A good show. Yeah. I think I enjoyed the first season more.
Yeah, but is that because you didn't have to binge the entirety of the first season?
It could be. Yeah. It could also be that simply just that first episode made the whole season that much better for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I think the finale of last season is better too.
The finale is also a lot better.
And it's more emotional, the fight between Omni-Man and Mark.
And where do you go from that?
Well, we've seen.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like
in terms of like emotional impact of finale, it's true. Yeah, that is a big boy.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though, it has got me in an Invincible mood. I might reread the comics because they've got some really good shit. And I mean, if we go by comic length, this show could end up having 6 or 7 seasons before they get to the end, the end game. And that would take a while. So if I want to relive it, I better read the comics. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to wait like 10 years.
How much more is there till the end?
There's a fair amount. There's still a fair amount to go.
How many roughly more seasons? Like 3 more seasons worth?
No, I just said by the end of the show there'll probably be 6 or 7 seasons. Oh, right. So I'd say 4 or 5 seasons.
Oh damn! So there is a lot more left.
Yeah.
Wow. So this will be going for a long time.
It went on issues, 144 issues, I believe. I think that's accurate.
So that's 144 comic books.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
Is it? It's not that much.
That sounds like quite a lot.
There's like 1,000 Spider-Man comics.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The comics go for a while though, you know. I mean, I think it started in 2003, I think, maybe 2001, and then it ended around I think it ended around 2013.
Yeah. And it's also Luke's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, Luke. I'll message him.
Tomorrow.
I'll message him tomorrow.
Yeah, don't message him today saying happy birthday.
That'd be so embarrassing.
That'd be upsetting and embarrassing for him. Yeah.
I'll schedule an email to send at midnight.
Wouldn't it be funny if you sent him that message and he just said, thanks, man, didn't correct you, didn't have the heart to correct you.
I almost want to do it just to see what he'd say. Yeah. I do think that's it, though.
Yeah.
It's again, as I mentioned earlier, it's a lot shorter episode than usual. I normally wouldn't be happy releasing an episode this short. But fuck, man, what do you want from us? The next episode's going to be like 4 or 5 hours long. I'm going to have to edit that.
Yeah.
You think that's going to be fun for me? Well, no. It won't be, to be blunt.
You should hire an Indian child to do it for you.
I don't trust Indians, Hector. We've talked about this. We've talked about this so many times.
We have, yeah.
Unless you've got any last little bits.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. The new episode of Smiling Friends was good.
Yes, actually,
Grimbley.
it was really good. Yeah, I can't wait to see more.
I can't wait to see more either. Yeah, it'll be back next month.
It is, considering it's just made by YouTubers, it's really good.
It's really good. It's always been good. Yeah. We've got a lot next month. To be fair, we've got that. We've got Doctor Who. We got probably another thing. I can't actually think of it.
Is there more Rick and Morty?
There will be, but not next month.
More South Park?
Not next month.
More Superman?
What?
More Spider-Man?
What do you mean?
More Scooby-Doo? I'm just listing lots of different shows, asking you if there's more.
No.
Okay.
All three of those are cancelled forever. There'll never be another one again.
Wait, really?
No.
Wait, never be any more Spider-Man.
No, I'm kidding. Spider-Man will outlive us.
Okay.
All I know is there's more Doctor Who, more Smiling Friends.
Okay.
Alright. I don't know any more than that.
Batman?
There is more Batman.
Okay. There's
no more Batman.
Oh, okay.
What about you? Anything you're looking forward to next month? Or is it all just my topics?
Next month? Let me think.
I suppose you could have Smiling Friends as your topic. I love Doctor Who's mine.
It's May, so may the force be with you.
Yeah.
That'll be my topic.
We could do Star Wars.
Oh, actually, did you April Fools? Anyone on April Fools?
I
didn't. Yeah.
I got April Fools.
Really?
Yeah. I went to do Tesco's on April Fool's Day, and then when I came back, there was a man in my house with a gun. And he killed my entire family. Then he pointed the gun at me, and he made me get on my knees, and he put the gun like on my head and in my mouth. And he was like, "I'm gonna shoot your fucking brains out." And I was like, "Oh, babe. And then he pulled the trigger, and instead of a bullet, it was just a little flag that said "bang." And he was like, "April Fools, I got you." And I was like, oh, so my family's alive. And he was like, no, I killed them. I killed all of them.
That was all collateral for the joke.
that added to the bit for him. He's still out there. They never caught him.
We need to call the police. Yeah,
I did. I think he was a former cop, because they were all like, "Oh, you're never getting justice." They were like, "He's getting away with it, and there's nothing you can do." And I was like, "Oh man." How about you? Did you get April Fools to tell?
I didn't know. Actually, no April Fools happened to me at all. I think that's the first time ever. It is a little bit.
It's kind of sad.
When we were back in college or school, the nanosecond you step foot into the school, someone would do something to you.
Like throw a custard pie at your face. You know, like, just random shit. You know?
With the cream on top, you know. Yeah.
I've always wanted to see that happen to someone in real life. It never has. Have you actually been April Fools before?
No, I have. Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah. What's some pranks people? I don't know if I've ever actually been April Fools.
Really?
I can't think of. I maybe a whoopee cushion once, but nothing huge. Anything huge?
I don't know. Maybe like stupid shit, like we're in school and someone says, the classroom's been moved over to that classroom, and so
they got you good. They got me
good. Yeah.
You went over to the new classroom and someone immediately throws a pie in your face.
You really want that to happen?
I hope one day I get the chance.
Yeah.
I'd even take the pie.
Yeah.
I have taken a pie to the face, I just remembered actually. But it wasn't an April Fool's gag, it was for a play at school by
custard pie.
It was just like a pie, one of those little, like one of those little foil pie things full of whipped cream.
Yeah, I see. So not even a pie.
Oh, no. It was a cream pie.
Just cream.
Just cream.
Cream and tinfoil.
There was a complete lack of pie in this scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do an April Fool's gag next year on someone.
We should do it on the podcast.
Yeah, well, we're revealing it.
That's a good point.
Let's not talk any more about it.
We've revealed it a year in advance. So if someone...
Yeah, but I say that's the last we speak about it. We plan it behind the scenes secretly for the next year.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. I tried, in case you couldn't tell, audience, I was trying to kind of fill us out a little bit so it didn't end too early. I think that says, what does that say, 58? Oh, that's pretty good actually. So yeah, it'll probably be, we got to cut out the little breaks. I went and took a dump during the I needed, my stomach was really hurting. Yeah. My poor baby, my poor delicate flower. It'll probably be about 50, 55 minutes and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But yeah, goodbye everyone. Thank you for listening.